we really did like say nobody's gonna know what the Copenhagen theorem is, so I'm shocked you guys know. All right, guys, we only got a couple of us left, so stick around or leave right now. I'm sorry.
Thanks, jerks. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So up next, we're gonna have. We got seats available, by the way, for these people sitting on the floor and in this corner awkwardly. Up next, we got one of my best friends, old roommate, and totally not gay lover, Michael Ferris. So I'll let him come on. And Francis, for some reason.
Please, everyone, take your seats. Oh my goodness. How is this? Hello, is everyone sitting down okay? All right, just want to. Hey, everyone. Hi. My name is Michael, as I was introduced, and I'm kind of a sappy guy, so I just wanted to say thank you real quick. This is my first time doing stand-up, so thank you for being here. And also, can I get a round of applause? All the comedians are back there, but they worked really hard. Thank you. And I just told you to clap and you did, without questioning, and my self-esteem has not been higher. Thank you. And so I just want to, I'm going to do jokes for you guys and just going to go ahead and start. So, but a little bit about myself. I am a senior here at SLU, and I study emergency management. So you guys may not know what that means, emergency management. And the first thing that comes to your mind might be like imagining me behind the wheel of an ambulance or like running into a burning building ready to like save a baby. Oh God, no. No, you see, emergency management, while I'm like safe outside of the burning building, I'm the asshole who tells the guy to go into the burning building and save that. You know, the manage part of management. So, no, that's what I want to do. But I'm really, really excited that I found this perfect major for me, emergency management. Now my absolutely debilitating fear of everything going wrong has a practical application. Seriously, I do it all the time. Like, as I stand here, I'm planning on what could go wrong. As I'm standing here, I'm wondering, what do I do if I forget my next joke? Oh my God, thank you. So, emergency management. How it goes is the one job I really, really want to do, and you guys will recognize this. So imagine something bad has just happened. Imagine that there's a catastrophe and you're sitting on the couch with your family and you're watching the TV and there's this guy who comes out in a suit and he's got this perfect haircut and he stands at a podium with a crest on it and begins some sort of thing like, "My fellow Americans." And then you start listening to what he says, and then all of a sudden these details come out of like the grocery store, and there was a gas leak, and that there were some fires and some injuries. I want to be that guy. I really want to be him. Why? Because he knows the truth. Like, as he's telling you all these things about, oh, there was a gas leak. Oh, hell no. There's no such thing as a gas leak. We solved that problem in the 80s. Seriously. So I want to know the truth because he's spinning the story. I want to spin the story and I want to know the truth. So I'm going to be him one day. And as you guys look onto my face standing behind a podium, I'm going to know in the back of my mind that there was no gas leak. Instead, motherfucking Voldemort is behind Schnucks at 3 in the morning blowing shit up. So, along with studying emergency management, you all have to take the classes that you don't really want to take, but you kind of have to suffer through them. We've all been there. I'm in that position now. It's called a class, Environmental Health, or as I like to call it, Why Everything Can Kill You. I'm being completely serious. Everything can and will kill you. So the 1950s were a time to be alive. Absolutely. We had just sort of developed the ability to mass produce all these fancy pretty chemicals that we had learned to make over the course of World War II. And if we had a problem, we just sort of pick them up and throw them at the issue until it goes away. And then comes back, and then it's worse. Like I said, the 1950s were an absolutely great time to be alive and die in terrible and easily preventable ways. So let me give you an example here. Let's say that you were a builder and you just built this fantastic new playground, a playground for children. You build it out of wood and it's great and it's magnificent. And then you come back after a few months and there's like these kids playing around it, but you realize it's kind of like not as good as it used to be. There's like sunlight and there's rain and God forbid there's bugs. Oh my God, they're absolutely ruining your playground. So you know what you do? You pick up a bunch of mercury that you just found and you lather that shit up. No, seriously, this happened, by the way. This is a legitimate thing. I want to reiterate that. We just put mercury all over our playgrounds and then we sent our children on them. Yes, this happened. And so, you know what? My playground is fine, but my children, who cares about mercury exposure? I mean, whatever. My playground is going to last goddamn generations. My kids, though, absolutely not. Say that you're fighting a war. Say that this war may be called Vietnam. Say that there's like this group called the pesky Viet Cong, and they're sort of just killing your American troops. So let's say you're also the US military, and you're like, hey, I know what to do. Let's just take a bunch of this Agent Orange and spread it around everywhere and see what happens. I'm sorry I said that. My favorite chemical is asbestos. Don't ever let me say that again. But there's a reason why I love asbestos, and I'm going to justify this right here. And I say that because it makes total sense of why we used it. And here's why. Here's the top reasons why asbestos is amazing. One, you can find it really easily in the ground. Like, you start digging, you eventually find asbestos fibers, and you can just take them, boom, like that. Second reason, so you know what fire blankets are? Literally asbestos blankets. Like, yeah, asbestos, it doesn't tear, and it doesn't catch on fire. It's like amazing. It's incredible. Then you have the bright idea of, let's put it in our walls. Don't do that. No, little Jimmy is going to run his head into the wall and he's going to just get a big whiff of a bunch of asbestos that you put in the walls. Don't do that. But it keeps your house warm forever. Promise you, it will do that. Okay, so here's the thing. Even the ancient Egyptians thought that asbestos was the shit. Like, seriously. So you know that, like, you've seen in our history books the excavated mummies and they're going like, no, seriously. But then you look at the like shroud that they're in and it's perfectly fine. Asbestos. It is. Mummies are literally asbestos burritos. I'm being completely serious. So asbestos, I want to just say again, is amazing at literally everything it does, including giving you cancer. I'm sorry. But I don't want to end on that. We're going to end on something very, very happy and upbeat. And so I want to tell you about one of my favorite new social experiments in the last few years. It's called Tinder. So for those of you who don't know what Tinder is, one, how? Two, I'm going to explain to you. So say that you have a phone. You all have phones. Say that you have a phone, and then you download an app, and it's called Tinder. And then you make a little bio, you link it to Facebook, you put in your location, and then all of a sudden, all these women just show up on your phone. I'm speaking from my perspective here. All these women show up on your phone, and you're just like, oh my God. And you can hit yes for yes, you think they're cute, or no for no. And then, eventually what happens is, say that you hit yes for a girl, and she hits yes for you, and a magical thing happens where all of a sudden this chat room, this basically text conversation opens up and you can talk to this girl. Yeah, that's basically Tinder. This just in, guys, we've had Tinder for literally ever. It's called a bar. Seriously. So let's imagine 10 years ago from this moment, we didn't have Tinder yet. You know how you approached women? You approached women. You see a girl, you think, she's cute. It's as if you hit yes. And then you go up to her, and then, as if you would do on Tinder, you drop a pickup line. Hey, girl. Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I'm sorry, I'm so single right now. So this is the one thing, though, that Tinder has above, face-to-face conversations, that you don't get physically slapped afterwards. That's the one good thing about it. But that was 10 years ago. And then 9 years ago, we had something called the Facebook poke. And then we realized humanity regressed 1,000 years, and we got rid of that. Cool. And, dang it. I had my spot. And so Tinder, it's kind of amazing. But here's the thing, is that it's just very, very addicting to use. And also, you didn't mean for it to be on your phone. Here's an example of how it gets on your phone, is that you may be with a friend. Your friend may be intoxicated. Your friend may take your phone and decide, ha, Tinder, and download it. You now have Tinder on your phone. Your drunk friend still has your phone and is putting a bunch of profile pictures of you on there and is writing you some sort of bio hey girl, hey. And then all of a sudden, he is repeatedly hitting yes over and over without even looking at the picture of the girls. I call that the power swipe. And then all of a sudden, you're okay, dude, I'm tired. This is enough. And you go to take back your phone. You're wrestling around with it a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you get your phone back. You're no, I'm done with this. And all of a sudden, ding. Oh my gosh. You got a match. It's exciting. Your heartbeat is randomly, I don't know why I feel this. I have no idea who this person is. I don't even know what she looks like yet, but someone out there thinks that you're cute and attractive enough to press a button. Yeah, it's just like that. And so then, quick story real quick. So I want to tell you about the first time I ever matched with a girl on Tinder. I apologize, this is actually really embarrassing. I was on the toilet. And so, oh God, this is too much. So I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm just going through, and that's what normal guys do when their pants are down, is looking at pictures of girls. And all of a sudden I hit yes, and all of a sudden it says, you matched with Kelsey. Oh my God, Kelsey, no. And so I freak out. I'm absolutely I don't know what to do, because now the chat is open and now she can text me. It doesn't have to be me who texts her. So many things are happening at once. And so I turn off my phone, take the battery out, throw it in one corner, throw my phone in the other, and sit until the nerves go away. And that was my first match on Tinder. But no, Tinder is addicting. And here's why. Because the matches start adding up and the self-esteem starts to build. So you find that picture of you that's sort of your bicep looks kind of good. You're not flexing, but it's there, It's like that. You spend an awkwardly long amount of time trying to come up with a clever bio. Yeah, now you know you're addicted. You're in already. And then all of a sudden, you start matching people, more people. Oh my God, this girl. Nah, I'm gonna just randomly talk to this one. And it keeps going. I promise you it doesn't stop. All of a sudden you're talking to this girl, and then you're oh my God, this is actually a good conversation. What's happening? And then you actually have her phone number, and you're what's going on? You end up oh my God, what are you doing right now? Starbucks? Oh no. And then you find yourself sitting across from a girl at Starbucks that you met on Tinder. Terrifying. So here's the thing, though. Here's the absolute worst part about this entire situation, is that as you sit there, one person across from another, what no one is telling you is that in that moment, you are both in a position and in a time and place in your lives where you think Tinder is the best thing for your dating life. Thank you so much, guys. That's all I got.